Hello my sweet friends and welcome to DIY with Nadia. Today I'm making a patriotic no fray deco mesh wreath using the Nadia method. All supplies are from the Dollar Tree. For this red, white, and blue wreath, I'm going to be using the Nadia method, and I'm calling it that because I don't know what else to call it. And I am going to be using 6 rolls of the deco mesh. What I recommend is when you're cutting these up, to cut up 1.5 roll of each color. Here's the reason why. Each one of the rolls is 5 yards. We are going to be making strips of 12 inches, and that'll give us 15 bows per roll. The thing is, in my methods, I use either 11. When I do solid color, I use 11 per section. In today's video, I will be using 12 per section, which means 3 extra loops or bows are going to be extra. That is why I'm telling you just to cut up 1.5 and then see how it goes, just so you have, if you have some left over, you can use for another project. Besides our deco mesh, we are going to need a 14-inch metal wreath form from the Dollar Tree, and we're also going to need some pipe cleaners. I am going to be using the white ones for the blue and the white because I don't have any blue ones. And then I am going to be using the red ones for the red. And yes, Dollar Tree does have pipe cleaners. This one's actually from the Dollar Tree from Crafter Square. Let's cut these up. So I just kind of measure 4 inches off, and you should have 3 even sections. You just don't need any more, because if you do any more, it's just going to be extra and you're going to end up cutting it off at the end. So I like to do 4 inches at a time, and it works out just fine. And here I'm just making 12-inch loops or strips, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, this is so therapeutic and fun. Who else loves doing this? Just sitting there and cutting the strips like this and then making the little bows. It is so relaxing to me, honestly. In today's video, I'm collaborating with my friend Chantel from Loving Life's Journey. Please check her channel out. She does everything from hauls, vlogs, and of course, one gorgeous DIY after another. Her style is gorgeous farmhouse, and you will find her channel in the description box below. Now for the fun part, I'm grabbing my strip and I'm going to overlap it 1 inch. You don't want to do less than that because you run a risk of your little bow going loose. We're holding it at the top, and from the bottom, we're just walking it straight in. We overlapped it on this side, which means this is the bottom of my bow. From the top, I'm putting my little pipe cleaner and twisting it at the bottom. Everything's contained. All my little loose ends are inside or underneath. On top, it's perfect and nothing is going to fray. Let's do a red one. I'm overlapping it 1 inch, setting it down, and walking straight up from the bottom while holding on top. This is my smooth end, so I'm starting on my smooth end, bringing my pipe cleaner to the back where we brought the 2 sides together. And from the top, we have a beautiful bow. From the bottom, we have our frayed ends. In the inside, we have our fraying, but not at the top. And it's not going to fray, and it's going to look beautiful. One more time. I'm overlapping 1 inch, going straight down, holding on top, walking from bottom up, turning it around. This is my smooth end, grabbing my pipe cleaner, wrapping it around to the back. This is where we overlapped it, giving 2 twists, And then here we go. Our fraying is hidden right there at the bottom, and on the inside from the top, there's no fraying, nothing, and it's not going to go anywhere. It's nice and tight, sealed in the center. And here's a blue and a red. And I'm just going to continue doing this until I'm done with doing 1.5 rolls each. Okay. Now it's time to fill in the wreath. I will be using rows 2 and 3. For this particular wreath, because we have 3 colors, I will be putting 6 and 6 just because I want to make sure that my colors are really nice and even. So I'm going to put 2 of each color in each one, which means I need 72 of these bows, 24 of each color. I always say red, white, and blue, so not to lose count, that's why I set it up like this. And I'll just do red, white, and blue, red, white, and blue. And I'm zigzagging them. So line 3, line 2, line 3, line 2, line 3, line 2. Here I'm done with one section. Look how full it looks. And it looks really messy here, but I always fix that at the end. I'll show you how I do that. I basically just twist it and then either twist it around my little row right here, or just basically twist until it just, there you go. See how nice and clean that is versus all of this? But I will go back and I'll do that to all of them, and yeah, it just looks good. It looks professional, especially if you're going to do one of these to sell. You definitely want to make sure that it's nice and clean, and that all the backs of these pipe cleaners are not going to scratch the doors or walls of the people you are gifting the wreath to. So we finished, our last one was on row 2. I'm going to continue with my next one on top here on row 3. So red, white, and blue. So I'm going to continue with the red in row 3. I always count the rows from the inside of the wreath. It's just how I always did it. Ooh, look how good it looks. All right, you guys, I think I'm just going to finish all of this up, and I will be right back. Okay, I promised I'd show you how I fixed it in the back, and look, nice and smooth. I hid all the little tips, just curling it around the rings right here, going around like that, and now it's nice and clean. And look how even this wreath turned out. And if you feel like maybe, you know, for example, this one's white, that's fine, but this one's blue, I sometimes just kind of overlap it like this to hide that part, and just play around, make it look really nice and however you want it. But this is a 3-color wreath, and I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. Alrighty. All right, let's work on the centerpiece. I'm going to take one of these wooden stars from the Dollar Tree, and I am going to cover the little hole right here. And I'm just using the lightweight spackle from the Dollar Tree. I always overfill it a little bit, as you can see, because when it dries, it shrinks. And then you have like a little scoop right where the hole used to be. So now I'm going to just let this dry, and we'll come back to it. Now that it dried, I'm going to just use a sandpaper just to clean it up a little bit there. And I'm opening a new can of the Rust-Oleum chalk paint. And this is in linen white. And now it has a plastic lid instead of the metal one we were used to. This is a little thinner than Waverly chalk paint, but it's much, much cheaper and economical. So that is why a lot of the YouTubers have been using this lately. All right, to attach the star, I'm just going to be attaching it right here at these points. Don't do it from here, because if you do it from here, they'll show, but from here, they'll be like hidden in the wreath itself. And I just do my little 2-finger kind of thing, so it has a flat surface to attach to. I'm just really trying to kind of center it, making sure I like where I'm putting it. So I usually tighten it really loosely at first, but at the point where I want it, meaning, you know, kind of closer to the wire. Continue playing with it, seeing how deep I want it to stay. Okay, my star is secured right here. To decorate it, I'm going to use a bow. Dollar Tree has a few bows, but the problem is the blues don't match. So I figure instead of, I mean, this one might look good, but I thought this one would look even better. Right there. Isn't that beautiful? I thought this would look so good. So I'm just going to tighten it up in the back, kind of flatten it out because the way it is right here, it's a little, let me grab my brush. See, that sparkle stuff is, I just showed you that little bow and it's everywhere. Get some hot glue on there. All right, I think I like it right there. For more security, I'm just giving just a dollop of hot glue here and there so it holds where I want it to. Not too much. I'm not overdoing with the hot glue there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a vase filler from the Dollar Tree. If I can get into the bag. Let me see what size I want. Maybe this one? This looks good. Here's a problem with these. This is why I'm going to take all these white ones out, and then I'm just taking a nice brush, because do you see all this red sparkle? We're just going to get rid of all that red sparkle and leave it so it's nice and iridescent and pretty. A little X-Acto knife, and the way I like doing it is I go from each corner on the inside. I wanted to show you that I just took 1/3 off, as you could tell. I did not cut it in half just because it's not going on a flat surface. It's going to kind of be in the air, and I wanted to make sure that the edges right here were not cut off and looked, you know, jaggy kind of and not so beautiful. A beautiful dollop of hot glue straight in the center. Oh my goodness, does this not look gorgeous? Oh, I am loving this wreath. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed this wreath. Thank you so much for watching and sticking around. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you all on my next video. Bye, everyone.